My name is Ava Smith. I'm a full-time homemaker, happily married for 19 years. I have 3 daughters, the eldest being a freshman in college. My days are lively and bright, chatting with my glamorous girls makes me feel younger. My husband, a hardworking employee, has always been dedicated to our family. He's a serious man, and I've been grateful for our happiness, never asking for more. However, one day, he came home with a woman about the same age as our eldest daughter. Her belly was noticeably swollen, clearly pregnant. Who is she? This is Sophia Wilson, my mistress. Mistress? We were all shocked. How old is she? 21. 21? That's the same age as Luna. Yes, it is. I felt nauseous. It's disgusting, there's no other way to put it. Sophia is pregnant. Whose child is it? Mine, obviously. It was unthinkable. It's one thing to have an affair, but with someone as young as our daughter? Despite this, my husband seemed unashamed, as if it was normal. So, we're getting a divorce. What? What's the matter? Got a complaint? Because she's pregnant, we're divorcing? Yes, I need to remarry Sophia and take care of the baby. But our kids still need financial support for college and high school. I've supported them enough. You'll figure out the finances. But I've been a homemaker all this time, I can't just start working now. I'm not an ATM. I never thought of you that way. Listen, I don't need an old, worn-out woman like you. You're useless now. How can you say something so terrible? Look at Sophia, young and glowing. That's what a real woman looks like. Compared to her, you've lost all your femininity. The thought of staying with you makes me sick. If you understand, sign these divorce papers. He said and thrust the papers at me. I never imagined I'd be signing divorce papers, especially losing my husband to a younger woman. Sign it quickly. Sophia mocked me, clinging to my husband's arm. It's unfair to divorce just because you cheated. The baby needs a father. It's my responsibility as a man. This is too much. Hurry up and sign. Forced to write on the divorce papers I never wanted to, coerced by a pen pushed into my hand. I wondered how my children saw me. They must think of me as a pitiful mother. Without any warning, my husband brought home a heavily pregnant woman, Sophia, and declared divorce. I felt powerless to argue, a weak mother. As I began to write, carefully forming each letter. This would be the last time I'd use my husband's last name. Writing slowly, memories of signing our marriage certificate flooded back. I remember being so happy back then, thrilled that his surname would become mine. I had believed we could overcome any hardship together. Our children were born, and my husband was always busy with work, rarely home. Despite the hardships, I never complained, always striving to be a good wife. When he brought colleagues home late at night, I always greeted them with a smile and took care of everything. Standing in the kitchen, I'd meticulously cleaned, preparing and serving meals. My husband, wanting to display his dominance, gave orders more arrogantly than ever. When our second and third daughters were born, he resented that they weren't sons. Can't you bear a son? I want a boy. You're useless. I remember crying in secret. When our child was bullied, I told Noah about that, but he didn't care. You're the homemaker, deal with it, was his response. I endured days of anxiety and sadness. And now, just as the children are almost grown, to discover his betrayal, what an ironic twist of fate. Was everything I did for our family meaningless? I devotedly cared for them when they were sick. But who took care of me when I was ill, had a fever? In hindsight, I was always the one who, despite being sick, prepared meals and took care of the children. I pushed myself because I knew if I didn't, nobody else would. Yet, why must I receive such a cruel fate? Tears flowed despite my attempts to hold them back. I knew crying would only please Sophia. She'd probably smirk in triumph. I thought he was stolen from me because I was sitting on the throne of being a wife, that it was all my fault, that the divorce papers were filled with my letters, and just when I thought it was over, my husband took the divorce papers from me. Done. Now we can get married, right? Good. It'd be sad if the baby didn't have a father. Sophia said happily. For this child, I'll work hard, even past retirement. Don't worry. Noah, you're so manly. That's why I love you. Our daughters, Luna and the others, watched coldly. How unfortunate for them to witness such a divorce. I'm leaving the kids with you. Let's file these papers and then submit our marriage certificate. Yeah, let's do that. As they were about to hold hands and walked out, Luna spoke up then. Then we're going with Dad. Huh? What? Why's that? Well, it's weird to decide without asking us who we want to go with, right? Yeah, I'm going with Dad too. If my sisters choose Dad, I choose Dad too. Why would you choose him? Isn't it obvious? Don't you want to be with your mom? Who decided that? But you get along with your mom. That's normal for a family. Of course, we love Mom. Luna smiled. But why? I thought my daughters would choose me. It was baffling that they chose Noah. Considering they barely spoke, the thought of suddenly choosing to stay with my husband was unimaginable. That's why. Noah must have not expected them to follow him either. Living with Mom just isn't feasible. You're a college student. You can manage on your own, right? It's precisely because I'm in college. Tuition costs money. If I separate from Dad, I'll have to work multiple jobs, leaving no time for studies. It makes sense to stay with Dad who has an income. Ah, that does make sense. Noah. Well, she's right. I feel the same way. I'm still in high school and there's a lot of tuition left to pay. And in 3 years, I want to go to college, which costs money, right? So, I have to stick with Dad. I need money to hang out with friends, too. Right, Dad? I prefer to be with you, is that okay? Of course, girls. I thought you'd be better with your mom, but I'm happy you chose me. Dad, I'm with you too. I'm in 8th grade and need to go to tutoring. So, obviously, Dad's the better choice, right? Of course, I have no objections. We're newlyweds. I don't want big kids like them with us. Don't say that. These girls are my children. Marrying me means becoming their mom. It's only natural. What? I've been a stay-at-home mom all this time. Even if I start working, it'll be just part-time. Considering the kids' futures, it's better to stay with Noah. It's tough leaving them, but it can't be helped. Don't worry, Mom. We'll come to visit often. So, don't sell the house, okay? This is ridiculous. Why do I have to become a mother to such grown daughters, especially with a baby on the way? Having older kids means more help around. It might be more of a blessing. So don't worry. Marrying my dad means this is what you sign up for. Nice to meet you, Mom. This is absurd. I don't agree with this. No matter how much she objected, the daughters stood their ground. The daughters refuted every word and left the house with their father. The once lively home was now eerily silent, leaving me alone with my tears. The daughters, arriving at the spacious apartment, busily secured their own rooms. Ah, I can use this room, right? Then I'll take this one. Emily can have the other. Yeah, I will. Wait, no. That room is reserved for the baby, and this one for storage. Well, 3 more people just moved in, and it's not like the rooms are huge. When the baby comes, just use the master bedroom. The baby doesn't need a separate room. A nursery is necessary. Dad, it's okay, right? It's impossible for the 3 of us to cram into one room. True, 3 in one room is a bit much. Noah. Be reasonable. It's important for young children to have their own space to develop independence. You don't think it's sad to separate kids from their parents too early? What are you talking about, acting like you know everything? It's the children's perspective. Keeping them close until they want to be independent is better for their mental stability. Forcing them away is just parental ego. What do you know? So, you understand better, Mom? Luna called Sophia Mom. That must have been awkward for her being only a couple of years older. But, having married their father, Sophia had indeed become their stepmother, like it or not. I don't like being called Mom by someone like Luna. Why not? You became a mother, didn't you? I don't really want to call you that either, but to acknowledge you as a parent, shouldn't we start with the name? Luna said. Frustrated, Sophia retreated to the kitchen. As they started living together, the daughters did nothing. Sophia, the 19-year-old pregnant bride, was left to do all the household chores. Mom, I'm hungry. There's something in the fridge, isn't there? Help yourself. Can't you make something? I'm pregnant, you know. You got pregnant on your own, right? Gross. Isn't it a mother's job to cook and feed her children? What did you say? What's wrong? Our real mom used to cook for us no matter how busy she was. I'm not much older than you, so you could help out, right? Regardless of age, you're the mother, and I'm the daughter. You wanted this life when you married Dad, right? So you can't complain. Mom, can I have some allowance? Allowance? I have to give you that too? Well, we always got it before. Not giving allowance is like telling us to go sugar dating. How does it turn into that? Well, if we don't have money, we can't hang out with friends. So, what do kids do? They might start sugar dating or seeking daddies to make money. Is that okay? If you want to do that, go ahead. Wow, Dad, Mom says we should go sugar dating. Wait. I'll give you money. How much do you need? Mom, I need more money for tutoring, and I want this dress. Why do I have to pay for that too? Going to tutoring is essential. I'm a student preparing for exams. What about clothes? Clothes are a necessity. You're married now, so any clothes will do for you. You don't need to impress other men. But we're still young and in the prime of our youth. That's right. And I need a new bag. I can't go on dates with my boyfriend carrying an old, worn-out bag. Aren't you girls ever gonna think about getting a job? A job? Luna, you're in college, and Nevaeh, you're in high school. You both can work. My high school doesn't allow part-time jobs. If we get caught, we could be expelled. I have to study. Mom always said if I have time for a job, I should be studying instead. Maybe that's why you married someone like Dad, prioritizing work over studies. What did you say? Mom, I'm hungry. I want pizza. Enough now. From morning till night. Isn't that what a mother does? They made Sophia's life a living hell. They constantly demanded and said whatever they wanted, leading to daily arguments. If the arguments got too harsh, they would go outside, with Emily playing the crying role and the other two comforting her, garnering sympathy from the neighbors. Sophia, at her wits' end, vented to Noah about the daytime chaos. However, the daughters, eavesdropping at the bedroom door, burst in mid-conversation. How could you make us out to be the bad guys? This is stepchild abuse. Dad, we help out so much during the day. It's unfair to be accused like this. Yeah. The neighbors feel sorry for Emily. They say you don't understand kids because you're as old as your eldest stepdaughter. This is neglect. Who's neglecting who? And why are you interrupting our private conversation? We can't even have a moment together. You're pregnant, so you shouldn't be doing that stuff anyway. It might shock the baby. You are really awful children. See, Dad? She says things like this. It hurts. Come on, Sophia. You're a mother now. Cut them some slack. They have their reasons, and besides, they're hurting from the sudden divorce. What about me? Don't I have feelings? You're their mother. Act like it. You always take their side. Sophia snapped, growing hysterical and attacking Noah. Despite these tumultuous days, Sophia didn't miscarry. Sophia, however, managed to give birth healthily, suggesting a strong mental fortitude. However, upon seeing the baby, the daughters claimed it doesn't look like him. Is this really Dad's child? It looks nothing like us. Babies look like monkeys, huh? The daughters spoke their minds freely. But, it seemed their opinions were honest. They decided to verify if the baby was indeed their father's. 2 weeks later, they confronted Noah with the results. What's this? Look, Dad, a DNA test. The document they produced was a DNA test result. A DNA test? The baby doesn't resemble you at all. According to the test, there's a 99.99% chance it's not your child. What? As Noah examined it, Sophia cried out in desperation. That can't be true. This child has to be yours. Accusing me of cheating like this is just outrageous. But the DNA test clearly says it's different, can't help it. It's a lie, right? No, it can't be true. There must be some mistake. I hope so, but that would mean the DNA test is wrong. Exactly. The test is full of errors. There's no doubt this child is yours. But we tested the baby's hair and your hair, Dad. It's not often wrong. Still, machines can make mistakes. Nothing's absolute. Really? Then how do you explain this? Luna took out her phone and showed Noah a picture. What's this? It's Mom texting with another man on SNS. See? They're totally lovey-dovey. Noah stared at the screen, while Sophia must have been anxious. The messages were quite explicit. What's this, Sophia? That is. It's clearly about a relationship with another man. Noah accused. Sophia sighed deeply. Well, it's out now. Can't hide it anymore. Does that mean you were cheating? Cheating? Maybe. Whose child is this then? I don't know. I was seeing multiple men. What? If I knew who the father was, I'd have asked him to take responsibility. But I didn't know, so I thought you'd do, being young and accepting. I just wanted a father for my child. You chose me just because you wanted a father for your child? Yes, I had broken up with the other guys. I wasn't planning on marrying them. So, there are no other men now? Of course not, I cut them off for our marriage. So, there's no problem, right? Not sure about that. There's this photo. Can't be sure what Mom says is true. The document was a photo of Sophia meeting another man secretly. Because you dressed up and I thought you had a plan, so I followed her when she said she was going to her parents or shopping. Turned out, she was leaving the baby at daycare and dating this guy. And you met men when you said you were going to your parents or shopping, right? You did this? You've been cheating on me in secret? I can't help it. I prefer young guys. You're married to me and doing this? Marriage and love are different. I want a father like Noah who can provide, but for fun, I prefer young, handsome guys. You're married and acting like this. Luna, who's my age, goes out on dates all dressed up. Why can't I? You're a couple of years older than me. It's practically the same. You chose to become a married mother. I didn't think it'd be this hard. Enough. I'm being made to raise a child that's not mine, and on top of that, you're cheating. Fine. I'll divorce you then. I don't want to be with these daughters anyway. It's the right time. All right, Dad. Just sign the divorce papers quickly. Luna, singing like, handed the divorce papers to her father. Taking them, he swiftly signed. Sophia, too, grabbed the pen. Without any hesitation, Sophia scribbled her name and tossed the pen on the table, asking, "This good enough?" Well, I'm leaving. Being a parent to such foolish daughters is a joke. You've made my life miserable. Take your child with you. It's your kid, after all. I know that. Sophia retorted, hastily packing her belongings into her bag, embracing her child, and leaving. After Sophia's departure, Noah heavily sat on the sofa. And he let out a deep sigh. I never imagined she was cheating. What a disappointment. No, it's better we found out. Imagine working hard for a child that's not even mine. Such a ridiculous situation. That's true. Let's move forward as a family of 4. Right, it's not over yet. The daughters responded for his words. A few days later. Social media was buzzing. This revelation came amidst a scandal involving an employee of a pharmaceutical company. There was a huge uproar about a 50-year-old employee who impregnated a 21-year-old office worker. In response to this, there was widespread disgust and a public outcry, leading to a boycott campaign against the company. This led to a plummeting stock price and significant losses for the company. The company couldn't stay silent, trying to identify who the 50-year-old employee and the 21-year-old office worker were, creating a massive stir. Unaware of this, Noah was fully immersed in his work. However, it didn't take long before he was identified and fired for causing the company's losses. Why? How did they find out? Dad, be serious. Stuff like this spreads on social media before you know it. Maybe so. But now I've been fired. I'm unemployed. How am I supposed to manage, especially with your tuition fees? That's tough. I'm sorry, but you'll have to give up college. I can't afford it now that I've lost my job. Right. Let's all work together as a family of 4. Luna and Nevaeh can work, and Emily can join in after her exams. If we all work, we can make it through. My high school band's jobs. I'll explain the situation to them. That's harsh. I hate the idea of working. Nevaeh, you don't like working? Of course. Why should I have to work when no one else does? I don't want to stay with such a terrible father. If they leave, I'm leaving too. Where will you go? Back to Mom's. Even if you go to your mom, she can't pay for your college. Don't worry. Mom is using her talents to work. Mom's talent? You didn't know, did you? Mom is an amazing cook. She's been uploading cooking videos, and they're a big hit. It's all about the homemade taste. With Mom's current situation, she can easily afford our tuition. Can she? Yeah, staying with Dad, we'd only end up poor. So, I'm going back to Mom's. What about me? What should I do? Dad, you're the one who flirted with a young woman. It's your own doing. You have to figure it out yourself. Don't say that, don't leave me alone. Mom was left alone, especially suddenly, wasn't she? She had only done housework before. So, you have to manage on your own too. This can't be happening. And you know, nowadays, even ordinary people like us can make a stir on the internet. What do you mean? Anyone can spread rumors online. You might not know, Dad, but you don't need a major magazine to publish an article. Even a kid who can write a composition can spread rumors on the net. So, you're saying you did this? Yes. Why would you do such a thing? Because you hurt Mom. You got a young woman pregnant and forced a divorce on Mom. We couldn't forgive that. So, as a final move, we encouraged a boycott of your company's products. What have you done? That's how terrible what you did was, Dad. We'll never forget how you hurt Mom. So, good luck being on your own. And don't fall for young women again, Dad. The daughters left Noah and returned to Ava's house. Smiling, they said, revenge is complete. Now jobless and abandoned by his daughters, Noah was cut off financially. My claim for alimony was just too much for him. Confronted by the ex-husband's bewildered why now, my eldest daughter Luna coldly retorted, because now is the right time. You deserved it for taking Mom for granted, Luna said coldly. Realizing the extent of what had been done to him, he asked, was all this you're doing? That's right. So, did you plan this from the moment you agreed to come with me? Yes. We decided to avenge Mom, that's why we came with you. Why else would we go to a place with such a woman? Is that how it was? Realizing he had been abandoned by his children from the start, Noah lost all motivation, struggling even to find a job. Consequently, the only job he could secure was a part-time position paying just a few dollars an hour. Burdened not only with alimony but also with the lump sum payment of child support for his 3 daughters, he found himself drowning in debt. He moved away, unable to face us, living a lonely life in seclusion. While I don't know the details of his life now, it's not hard to imagine that he's leading a lonely, solitary existence. As for me, life has been joyful since my 3 daughters returned home. My cooking videos have become quite popular, bringing in a substantial income. Thanks to this, I can easily afford my daughter's tuition, and we're living a worry-free life.